Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, we can hear you. Hare.
Yeah. Prabhu, it's page 16, correct?
Yes, bro. Page 69 from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. Purpose.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from chapter 4 of Trial and Tribulation from the book Namacharya, the life of Srila Haridasa Thakura. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura purports and summarizes the above statements of Haridasa Thakura in the following unique words. Your personal state of mind is auspicious for you because you have received the opportunity to cultivate Krishna consciousness by giving up endeavors for material enjoyment. Therefore, always remain engaged in chanting Krishna's names and in remembering Krishna. If you get freedom from prison life and again indulge in sense gratification, then as a result of associating with wicked persons who are averse to the Lord, you will forget the Supreme Lord. As long as the endeavors for material enjoyment is prominent in the living entity, there is no possibility for him to worship Krishna. The conditioned souls who are devoid of devotional service to Krishna are always merged in topics related to their wives and children, which are center of their enjoyment. If at the mercy of the Lord, a person in this dangerous situation meets a sensitive person, his taste for material enjoyment will be turned into a taste for the service of Supreme Lord. When one gives up the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, then his natural material propensities will submerge him in a mine of offenses. I do not mean that you should remain suffering within this prison. But in your present condition, you have the opportunity to constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. Therefore, do not be distressed. The Vaishnavas always bless all living entities with the words, may your devotion to Supreme Lord be fixed. I consider this the greatest mercy towards the living entities. Your prison life will soon be finished. Never give up your determination for serving the Supreme Lord in any conditions. Trial and torture. After explaining his merciful benedictions to the prisoners, guaranteeing their release and offering them his best wishes, Haridasa was presented to the king. The king has assumed that Haridasa Thakura was a charlatan or an ordinary troublemaker. But when the king noted his impressive figure and personality, as well as the charm and effulgence of the heroic Vaishnava, he respectfully offered him a seat. The king then began to simultaneously chide and question Haridasa Thakura in a familiar way, as one brother to another. Since in his ignorance, that was as much respect as he could muster. My dear brother, why do you have such a mentality? By good fortune, you've been born a Muslim. So why do you follow the religious practice of the Hindus? You don't eat even rice that's been touched by Hindus. So why are you degrading yourself? You've been born in a high family. You're transgressing your caste and religion to follow the religion of others. How will you attain salvation? What are sinful activities you are unknowingly performed can be cleared by uttering kalam. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments on uttering kalam. Kalam, which is an Arabic word, means word or statement. Kalam or kalam-e-Allah refers to a passage from the Quran indicating the acceptance of Muhammad's Islam religion. Haridas Thakura was so amused by the foolish secular sentiments of the king that he began to laugh and commented, how wonderfully the illusion energy of the Lord acts. Feeling compassion for the king upon hearing his pathetic display of ignorance, Haridasa Thakura began to speak in a universal, non-sectarian way about the absolute truth. Listen, dear sir, the Supreme Lord of all is one, without a second. The Hindus and Muslims differentiate the Lord only by name, but in spiritual vision, the Lord is one. It is confirmed in the Puranas and the Quran. The pure, eternal, non-dual, inexhaustible Lord sits in the heart of everyone. That Lord induces everyone to work in a particular way, and everyone in the entire world acts accordingly. The names and qualities of the Lord are chanted by everyone according to their respective scriptural injections. The Supreme Lord accepts the devotion of everyone. But if anyone is envious of his children, then he retaliates. Therefore, I am only acting under the inspiration of the Supreme Lord. By his own desire, a Hindu Brahmana may also become a Muslim. What can Hindus do? That is his karma. If one is already dead, then what's the use of killing him? Dear sir, now you can judge. If I'm at fault, then you may punish me. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura summarizes and comments significantly on certain points made by Haridasa Thakura in the above passage of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, eternal, non-dual, and the Lord of all living entities. Therefore, therefore, one Lord is the controller of the Hindus. Muslims, young and old, and male and female. Hindus and non-Hindu Muslims who are ignorant of the science of the Supreme Lord foolishly oppose each other by concocting two different gods with separate names. But when they give up such discrimination and difference of opinion and indifferently consider their respective religion scriptures, the Puranas and Quran, then they will never find such differences in the absolute truth. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura wisely comments on the topic of the sectarian fanaticism. As far as we can understand, no enemy of Vaishnavism will find any beauty in the Bhagavad. The true critic is a generous judge, void of prejudices and a party spirit. One who is at heart the follower of Muhammad will certainly find the doctrines of the New Testament to be a forgery of the fallen angel, the devil. A Trinitarian Christian, on the other hand, will denounce the precepts of Muhammad as those of an ambitious reformer. Party spirit, that great enemy of truth, will always baffle the attempt of the inquirer who tries to gather truth from religious worlds of his own nation, and will make him believe the absolute truth is now nowhere except in his old religious book. Haridasa Thakura non-sectarian message, so logically and thoughtfully presented, impressed the king and his retinue very much, and they felt very satisfied by the logic and import of Thakura's statements. Srila Prabhupada exhibited the same spirit while preaching in Iran in 1976 in a conversation with a Muslim university student named Ali. Prabhu, I'll stop here, Prabhu. I'm very much impressed with the few pages that I've read, and this reminds me of a great devotee called Ramadas who was present in the Nizam region about 500 years back. But his devotion and his determination gave him the freedom to come out without even getting a death sentence. Even here, where I see is the king is ignorant here. King is in the tamas nature. The king thought that uh, Srila Haridasa Thakura will come back and accept the religion. But what he didn't know was that it's just a differentiation of his presence of mind. Even though the king prays to the Lord, he forgets that small thing as to why he's differentiating. And and the way I see is even I also hear some of the purports from some of the ISKCON devotees, they also refer. But the difference is very, very much as similar to what we read in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or even Chaitanya Charitamrita. And while reading these two states, while these few pages, it got to me about a few verses in the Bhagavad Gita and also in the Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, text 56, chapter 18, text 56, Lord Krishna says, though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. In all activities, just depend on me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. And similarly, last night when we were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, I also came across one particular what is the one particular verse, which is from Adilila, chapter 3 and verse 50. Again, this is again taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is repeatedly and clearly said that essence of religion in the age of Kali is the chanting name of the holy name of the Krishna. One who is always in chanting name of Krishna and is always in Krishna consciousness will be protected. Hare Krishna. Let me continue the japa, Prabhu.
Once, Hare Krishna.